We're currently diving on the USS DeHaven, which is a Fletcher-class destroyer.
All right, looks like we're completing the starboard pass of the ship. So we'll start swinging around here shortly and then proceed with the port side. The bow of this wreck is missing. A little bit forward of the bridge, that whole section is gone.
Daniel, this is Frank. You were approaching the area where the ship's bell might be, so if you keep an eye out for that.
Sure thing. Thanks, Frank. Yeah, we looked at it in detail on the first run and couldn't see anything.
I wonder how far off it could be. If you could note the front of the wreck here as DD, that would be great. Yeah, the mast. There you can see where it broke off and where it's all bent.
Hey,
Oh, yeah. Hey, are we anywhere near the forward torpedo launcher? Someone who was watching the live stream said, don't know if it was noticed by the dive team, but there was a ship's bell laying in the DeHaven's forward torpedo launcher. It was visible on the ROV port side pass.
I see it. It's just center of the screen right now.
Yeah, I see it now.
There we go.
There it
you
is.
go.
Right
There you go.
Still has the clapper in it
Yeah.
and the mounting bracket. Look at that.
Oh my gosh.
That's amazing.
Incredible.
Frank Clay, you earned a place in Naval History Valhalla today.
You can even see the knocker in there.
Do the bells usually have something, an inscription on them?
It would probably say USS DeHaven and the year it was launched, but of course we can't see that here.
Yeah.
We can clearly see the clapper and where the lanyard would be attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a beautiful shot of the inside. Thank you, Tess.
Of course.
And then the mounting bracket has kind of an arm on it, so it would have attached to either the mast leg or a bulkhead. You know, it's funny looking at it now. It's like, how did we miss it? It looks so obvious.
Well, yeah, of course, once you see it.
I guess we'll continue south, or north, rather.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for that little
that was
detour.
great.
It was worth it.
Incredible.
So that's the turret itself. Boy, not much room in there, huh?
Imagine being sealed up in that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
In combat and on the ship
Yep.
careening, maneuvering and all.
And this being one of the prime targets of enemy fire.
We need to remember when we're looking at a scene like this is that this is in all likelihood where some sailors, pay the ultimate sacrifice for their country.
The circular hole on top, is that a shell hole or part of the structural design? I don't think we ever noticed something when we saw the more intact turrets. They didn't seem to have anything up there.
Yeah.
I wanna say
Look
that
at
was-
this one here, doesn't?
That's the gun captain's hatch.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Okay.
the hatch, so that's how they climb in.
Oh, okay.
Well,
so,
that's like the gun captain if he had to open it for
right.
whatever
Okay,
reason.
so that is a
he's got
structural
hatch. So,
component.
and she was lost fighting aircraft, so that's why her guns are kind of
raised,
at
yeah.
elevation.
I had an interesting question here. I was wondering if anyone can give an overall condition of the wreck. Is it in one piece? How much of it's being covered?
Most of the bow has been blown off. We're looking mainly at kind of maybe just forward of midships is kind of shambled, just utter destruction. And then we passed over midship where we saw the ship's bell, and we're working our way aft.
And here we can see the stern here.
Now we're kind of approaching the stern. You can see the
And
depth charge rack, and you can see the smoke generator tubes.
And that looks like an anti-aircraft gun.
Wow.
Are those depth charges still on the back? Those look
It could
the cylindrical
be.
things?
Yeah.
You're talking about these features here?
Those are the smoke generator tubes.
The ships would generate smoke as
Yep.
a smoke screen.
Smoke screen. Yeah, it looks like the chargers are still there. And
Yeah.
in the side, these racks there, those are the depth charges.
charges,
They're
yeah.
cylindrical.
Wow.
And the idea of making them safe was to take out the charge that
Yeah,
would
so it would-
explode at a
right,
at a
and-
particular depth, because had
Yeah,
they
there-
fallen over,
Right, there
it
were...
would have blown
yeah,
up and
and
destroyed the ship itself.
Well, not just that, but any survivors in the
And
water, the
survivors.
pressure concussion would have killed them.
Yeah.
That's what happened when Hammond was sunk at Midway. Some of her survivors were killed when the depth charges exploded.
Yeah.
It's kind of to put a size reference on a depth charge. Think of a 55-gallon drum full of high explosive, usually between 200 to 300 pounds.
And these depth charges just rolled off by gravity, or?
Yep. I'm amazed at the sea growth on this one.
And Frank, I wonder while we're doing some of these cinematic shots, if you'd be willing to share a little bit of the story of this incredible ship and how it ended up on the seafloor during the war.
Well, DeHaven was lost towards the end of the Guadalcanal campaign in February 1943. She was attacked by Japanese aircraft and bombed. And the Guadalcanal campaign was literally in its last days. So started this project looking at some of the very first casualties of the Guadalcanal campaign, Astoria, Vincennes, Quincy, and Canberra. And now we're looking at one that was one of the last victims of the Guadalcanal campaign. She's a Fletcher-class destroyer. Fletchers were a backbone of the United States Navy destroyer force during World War II. There were over 100 built, and aren't many left.
So
There are 3 left in the United States, the USS Kidd, the USS Cass and Young, and USS The Sullivans up in Buffalo, New York, Department of Maritime Park there. That ship, of course, is named after 5 brothers who were lost aboard USS Juno in the waters around Guadalcanal.
Wow.